Well, good morning, family. It's 5 minutes past the hour on this sixth day of November, the day after Work It Out Wednesday. Yours truly in the building, Joe Dupree from 100 BLK, the Black Station. I'm not by myself. I got my sister in the building. You know her as the life strategist, the art therapist, the speaker, the author. Sister Jackson's in the building, and along with my brother. Yes, my brother from another mother. He is right there from the Open Lines online and keeping it real with Reverend Al Sharpton, 107.5 WBLS in New York City. Brother Fatim is in the building, and the trio, once we come together, it's like Wonder Twin Powers activate. We are better known as hashtag Truth Be Told. And family, let me start off before I even throw it over to anybody else by saying the following. The people have spoke. The people have spoke. Let us move forward. Regardless if your candidate won or lost, let us move forward and understand the following. I'm going to do what my Bible say do. I'm going to rejoice with those who rejoice, and I'm going to mourn with those who mourn. And at the end of the day, we all got to look at self and say, what did we contribute to the outcome of whatever the outcome was? Because we all had something that we contributed to the situation. Either we showed up or we didn't show up. But guess what? Regardless of what you did, you got to look your own good self in the mirror and evaluate yourself. And as I always say, from Predator 2, I got to be like the Jamaican that was in the alley. Prepare yourself. That's all I can say. Now that I said that, good morning, family. Good morning, and good morning to everybody who's logging in. And people are logging in all over the place. So good morning, family. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, family. Good morning, Jax.
Great day, y'all. Fatim, what is on your mind, my brother? Tell it, because you ready to go in, Fatim.
I'll let you go first.
No, just what's up, y'all? It's another day. The sun is shining. In Jersey, it's about to be a warm, beautiful day. Like you said, Joe, we got to armor up. We got to get prepared. It is what it is. For me, I'm like, you know what? I believe. So I say God's still in control. He knew the outcomes of all of this before it even went down. So either way, I'm still going to keep on rocking. I'm going to still keep on rolling. It is what it is. And really, is it much of a surprise? Months ago, we were talking about before we think we know who the next president is going to be. So we were saying that months ago. Right? Although we could have still been wishful and hopeful, we still knew deep down what was really about to go down. I know for me, when I was crisscrossing the state, the country, riding through PA especially, there was nothing but big digital billboards of Trump signs everywhere. You might see a little Kamala sign, but everything was bright billboards of Trump. And, you know, that definitely was a nail in the coffin because I'm like, yeah.
It looks like the man not only won the Electoral College since everybody wanted to go, oh, it's unfair. It looked like he won the popular vote too.
Yeah. So, I mean, are we really surprised? Like, we know what our country was founded on. We know what it was founded on. They didn't disappear. They got grandkids and kids. Like, so they still are. It's still what it is. So
right. And the Senate and the House now belongs to the Republicans. So now, as red as Louisiana is now the United States of America. The United States of America is totally controlled by the Republican and the Conservative Party. So once again, I can't say nothing. All I can do is abide by whatever comes down the pipe next. That's it.
Right. That's right. That's all it is. What you got, Fatim? He got some.
Come on, brother Fatim. Come on, brother.
Good morning. Good morning. You know, I got a shameless plug. First of all, I told him, you know, people that are in the South Carolina, Florence region, I got to plug my Midas. I had to go to Midas this morning because I had a situation with some tires in the past, and I told them I had a problem with the front tire. And we don't see the problem, but I had a slow leak, and it got worse, and they took care of it, no charge. So Midas on Palmetto, I got to give them. I told them I'll give a plug on the podcast. They got me home this morning.
Come on, the Midas touch.
The Midas touch. You know,
whoa. Where were you coming from? Where you needed Midas at so early in the morning? It's only
I know I left out the house because I went there yesterday. I went there yesterday, but you know, I ain't got no shame in my game when I was coming from home because I did a show last night. But if I could have worked this, I could have worked out some of this energy of this, I definitely would have. You see what I put on Facebook this morning, Tiana Taylor. So yeah. You know, I needed something black, beautiful, and strong this morning to get my mind off of that election result. Yeah. But I started off last night when I did the open line. Thank you, Michael Keith, for your support last night, and thank you for throwing
great show last night, Fatim.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I said when I started, I called one of our co-hosts, Sabrina Lamb, and I called her about 8 o'clock. And I said to her, I said, you know, just me and her talking. I said, what is your gut saying? She said, oh, Trump is going to win. And I said, it's interesting that back in 2016, I was at the Jacob Javits Center for a big party at the Democratic place. And I remember, I believe Hillary was supposed to, I don't know if Hillary was by or if she was even in New York. I don't remember. Because I just don't remember where Hillary was at. But I remember about 10 o'clock, the energy started to change in the room. Its energy started to change in the room. And yesterday, I felt that at 8. I felt that a little after 8. Even though it was the beginning, we had a long ways to go. But I felt something. Didn't know something. I can sit here and say no. And it's easy to be Monday morning quarterback. But I've gotten told on this show, as we talked about Trump, we talked about this, we talked about the felon, we talked about this, but I came back and told y'all. I said, it may not be the appropriate time, but I try to check the Democratic Party. So I don't want to hear shit about a felon. I don't want to hear about misogyny because, like Joe said, the people spoke.
Mm-hmm.
People spoke. Latino men pushed this over. You kind of think that we kept talking about migrants. You hear what Eddie Bonnet and was talking about the LGBTQ community. And the Democrats did not have answers. They never responded to that whole thing about, there was a whole thing about this ad about sex changes in jails and stuff. The Democrats never felt like they had to respond. And see, we told you how America, Jax, I'm sorry, me and you gonna have to disagree this morning. I'm just sorry. Mm-hmm. I keep telling y'all, I don't believe in this destiny thing and God knew and this was planned. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I don't because if there's a book and it tells you to do this to get this outcome, but if you don't do this, you get that outcome. Mm-hmm. That means I don't know. That's not, if it was pre-planned, then what's the purpose of just having this here? What is the purpose of this? So what I'm saying is people made their choices. Now we have to live with it. The reason why I had that face this morning, if my daughter didn't call me emotional this morning, she broke down on the phone. I'm glad she broke down on the phone. Because I told her, I said, when you was a baby, I had a discussion with young folks, and I called them the MTV group of folks, where the young folks say, oh, we ain't got Jim Crow. We get along. I go to my white friend's house. We do this. We game together, this, that, and other. All that what y'all talking about, police brutality and racism, that's out the window. Then we get a black president. Oh, we don't need civil rights organizations. We don't need none of this. The rude awakening. Then you come up and say, when January 6th come, we all know on this show that January 6th was wrong, but I keep telling you this is a violent country. Joe, you put something on Facebook today. You put something on Facebook, I took a picture of it. People can walk the way they want to walk. I'm going to tell y'all this straight up. This, I'm trying not to use profanity. This was the red wave that did not happen in the midterm elections, the last election. Didn't happen. The Republican Party, along with Donald Trump, wiped the Democrats' ass across this country. Wiped our asses. There's no excuses now. Now we got to go back and look in the mirror. We got to come up with a different strategy. We don't need this kumbaya, because the statement that you put up there, Joe, in the Bible, and again, it's not you per se. I'm not attacking you, but I'm attacking the mentality of us as a people. I'm looking at this, what you put up there, and it's translated because I have my Bible. I went to my Bible. I don't like this all translation to simple English. Yeah. But I'm going to read what Joe put up there with the simple English part. And it says, Romans 12:17-21. Never pay back evil with more evil. Do things in such a way that everyone can see you are honorable. Do all that you can to live in peace with everyone. Dear friends, never take revenge. Leave that to the righteous anger of God. For the scriptures say, I will take revenge, I will pay them back, say the Lord. Instead, if your enemies are hungry, feed them. If they are thirsty, give them something and is to drink. To drink, right? Because it was blocked by something on my. In doing this, you will heap burning coals and shame on their heads. Don't let evil conquer you, but conquer evil by doing good. I understand that. But this kumbaya, we shall overcome, hasn't gotten us very far in this damn country. Hasn't gotten us damn far in this country. We better wake up. We better start coming up with different strategies. We got our clock clean yesterday. There's no excuses. This ain't about waking up this morning and, moving on. Yeah, it's about moving on with a new strategy. We got our asses clean. Vice President Harris won Jersey by 5 points. A Democratic state won New York in single digits. That's embarrassing. They spoke. They spoke. This was not. If this was about misogyny, racism, and sexism, this is where our country is, y'all. This is where we are. And if we come up here thinking that we need to be nice, we need to talk like it is, do what we need to do, and unite. Did we show up as Black people? Yes, we showed up. So I don't need no lecture for us to show up. But I keep telling you, and I said it last night, other ethnic groups that have suffered at the hands in their countries to come here, they look for milk and honey, and they do not empathize with our pain. So when you think they're going to empathize with our pain and look at the same picture through our glasses, our lens, they don't do that. They don't. It's not about the propaganda machine. Yes, it was out there. People believe what they choose to believe. This hasn't happened since Reagan. Got our asses clock last night. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not giving congratulations to them, but they found something to tap into with all the resume of Donald Trump. And look at the messaging. Look at the messaging of the Republican Party. Look at the messaging of the Republican Party. And they cleaned our clocks last night. I don't want to hear no excuses this morning. I don't want to hear no excuses. They kicked our ass, and they kicked our ass last night.
I hear you, brother.
Ring the bell for team.
Brother Fatim. Ring the bell, Brother Fatim. Let me hit this for you and give you a round of applause. Let me say the following, Brother Fatim. You're not attacking me. I put up the word of God because I'm covered by the word of God. And at the end of the day, regardless of how you may see it, I didn't say kumbaya. I just put up the word of God because through it all, I understand the following. Here's what I say. If you look at the numbers and be real, and that's where you and I will have a disagreement. No, Black folks didn't do what Black folks should have did because the numbers show that a lot of Black men decided to vote for Trump. That's what the exit poll numbers show. That, watch this, but at the end of the day, here's what didn't happen. White America did not vote for Kamala Harris. Let's just call it what it is. And last night, somebody said that clearly. They said, you can say what you want to. You can blame it on whoever you want to. At the end of the day, white America did not vote for Kamala Harris. And once again, if the numbers come out and they keep trending the way they trending, when this is all said and done, not only will he have won the Electoral College, but he has won the popular vote. That hasn't happened in eons. So at the end of the day, looking at the numbers, and once again, I lie, you lie, we get into our feelings, we have our opinions. You can't argue the facts. Here's the facts. The man won the Electoral College, looked like he's going to win the popular vote. They took back the Senate and they have Congress. At the end of the day, the big red wave is in full effect. And for at least the next 2 years, they have carte blanche. The next 2 years, they have
4 years.
4
years. This midterm election coming up in 2 years. All the Senate seats were up, so they get 6-year terms.
So at least there might be a possibility with the House. But right. So that's why I said 2 years, because I want to be factual and not in my feelings. At the end of the day, here's what we got. First of all, you're going to deal with Trump for the next 4 years unless some laws get changed and you have to deal with him longer. That's a if a fifth, and until that happens, we can't say anything. But right now, by the laws of the land, he's the president for the next 4 years. He has at least 2 years, at least that we know, 2 years that he's got the Senate and the House. And if they do not get the agendas, and I like what one of the guys said on Good Morning America this morning. I think it was Ryan Previs. Ryan Previs said he's going to do exactly what he said he was going to do. He's going to pardon the January 6th, folks. He's going to do exactly what he said he's going to do, because he said Trump wasn't stuttering. And I love Ryan's Previs, because he's one of the few folks that when everybody else was saying, oh, that's just the way he's talking, every time I saw him on Stephanopoulos, guess what Brian Previs said? No, he ain't. Y'all think he's shoo-shooing. You're going to find out when he get back. You go F around and find out when he get back in office. He going to do exactly what he said he's going to do. So get ready. He told you. So don't sit there going, don't sit there like this. Look your good self in the mirror and ask yourself the following questions. Did I vote? Did I encourage other folks to go vote? And if I did, then all I can say is I got to accept, just like I accepted that your Cowboys rolled into my Pittsburgh Steelers stadium and my Steelers were not prepared. And no matter how much the Cowboys tried to give us the game by Dak turning the ball over 3 times, we said, we're going to let y'all win. And that's what we did. Why? Because we were unprepared to win that game on that day. And that's what just happened last night. They were not prepared to win. And bottom line, they did not win. The popular vote and the Electoral College. Those are the facts.
I don't think it's about not being prepared. I think what is there to be prepared? You know, there's a lot of things here. Vice President Kamala Harris, now I can share, I'll share my conversation with Reverend Sharpton. I said to him, no, I can't. I can't. I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not going to do that. But go ahead, Jackson.
I was going to say, when I was looking at the numbers last night and this morning, right, it said 12% of Blacks voted for Trump. And then it said 45% of whites, 45% of Latinos voted for Trump. So look at those numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling what Brother Eddie is saying in the chat, because I mean, I actually agree with that. He said America didn't vote for Trump. They voted against extreme ideologies that were coming out of the left. So I agree with that. I think that's what a lot of people were doing. I was getting calls left and right yesterday. Jax, who you voting for? Like, what's going on? I don't know who to vote for. I don't know what to do, because I don't believe in that Trump is the right one. But then I also don't believe that, Kamala is the right one, because she's down with all this, they were saying, LGBTQ stuff and, just a bunch of other ideologies that she stands for that they were personally against. So they were trying to figure out which way to go. So it did seem like a lot of people were doing exactly what Eddie was saying.
Hey, and Jax, let's just go ahead and I'm going to confront one of the elephants in the room. One of the elephants. I'll be very honest with you. The more I talked to folks and the more I was in conversations, some I could share, some I couldn't, I realized that they are people who, first of all, felt like y'all got y'all black president, y'all got Barack Hussein Obama, and they were not wanting a woman, especially a black woman, to wind up being the highest office in this country. And a lot of folks tried to put scripture on it. A lot of folks tried to do a lot of things, but personally, a lot of folks said, that like I said, and here's how I can prove it. I can prove it as simple as a good scholar that is a professor at Alcorn State University put on his page today. Would y'all have voted for Donald Trump if Donald Trump was nothing changed with Donald Trump except one thing, that he was a black man? No, you would not have.
I mean, I'm not going to deal with hypotheticals like that. I don't know. So I don't know, because we voted for a black man with I don't know. The bottom line is I can't take away what Joe said, because that's part of this. There's a lot of things. Just like I watched Morning Joe this morning as well. Oh, yeah. And I cut it off after Reverend Sharpton because I had to get out the house. But
he did a great job with that. I was watching that.
He did a great job, but I'm gonna watch the civil rights groups too. As a matter of fact, I might have to invite Reverend Sharpton in studio Sunday, because I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm just telling y'all, because I'm not sugarcoating sugar honey iced tea this time.
Yeah.
Vice President Kamala Harris' message possibly didn't resonate with the people. Donald Trump talked about and the Republicans was talking about their poll numbers, and they were seeing something that Vice President Kamala Harris and the Democrats were not seeing. You understand? We can sit here and go in and out about this because it's easy to be Monday morning quarterback.
Right.
I think a
Very
lot of us
easy.
are. I think a lot of us are surprised. I thought this, from the polls of being close, this was not close. And when Jackson, I'm glad you gave that number, 12%. 12% leaving. You say 12%, so you leaving 12%. Why am I doing this? 88% blacks. That's what I'm saying. 88% blacks voted for Vice President Kamala Harris. We showed up. We already knew we was in that 12 to 15% margin of black folks voting for Trump or even higher. We showed up. It ain't like we didn't show up. We showed up. So I don't want to hear that. We're not monolithic that we all gonna vote Democratic. We all gonna vote for Vice President Kamala. We knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Exactly.
We'd be stupid to do that, to think that. So I'm sorry, Joe, I disagree with you. We did show up. It's the other groups that didn't show up. It was the other groups that didn't show up.
Hold up, brother.
88%,
Hold on, brother.
88% is in the margin of what they predicted.
Okay, but
And we all black people isn't voting for her.
Hold on. Once again, look, bro, you can scream and holler all you want to.
I don't want to hear that. Well, let me just say what I gotta say because you talked twice. Let me just finish saying. No. You spoke twice. Let me just finish saying. Let me finish what I'm saying because you spoke twice. I sat back. 88% of black people voted for her. We showed up. And that's it. Bottom line, that's what we were talking about. We were worried about 20% of black people showing up for Trump. That didn't happen. Black people showed up. The bottom line is we need to look at this and not make excuses because you look at the places where Biden and Harris performed. Biden performed her in every state. Every state, win or loss, Biden outperformed her in the last election. Something didn't resonate with the people. All of it could not be misogyny. All of it could not be just racism or sexism. We got to look ourselves in the mirror and say, I said this before, we got to have better candidates. Didn't I say the Democrat Party made a mistake by not primarying Joe Biden? They hid Joe Biden like they hid that uncle that had mental challenges up in the damn attic, thinking that they could hide him and hide him and get them through this damn election. And when that first debate came, what happened? We were exposed. Our skirt was exposed. Then we went. A lot of us knew that Vice President Kamala Harris was not the strongest candidate, but a lot of black folks said we're not going to skip over the black sister because of respect and protocol. So I understand that. But now that ship went down, now we all got to be on that damn sinking ship.
That's right.
That's the bottom line.
So let's see now, Fatim. We give a lot of fruitful information on the show, and we have since day one, right? We encourage our viewers, we educate our viewers, we encourage them to acquire and look deeper into what's going on. We speak about God, we speak about everything on the show, right? But it's interesting because I love to know or see from when we started to today, how many of our viewers picked up their torch and say, you know what? I got to do something about the condition of our people. And if they haven't, I wonder how many of our viewers and just people that we come in contact on a regular basis are then going to pick up their torch from today, moving forward and say, you know what? I need to start a program to help in the community. I need to go and volunteer. I need to do whatever to start to shift the mindset of our people. But quite often we don't. We just like to sit back, talk junk, and just be a spectator and not do anything to truly affect change. So we are going to continue in the same cycle, the same situation, shucking and jiving, shuffling our feet, not moving no damn where, and just complaining. What is the point of just complaining? We have to mobilize. And guess what? Everybody else realizes we just talk a lot of shit, but don't do nothing about it. So that's why
that's what I'm talking about.
Take us and run over us. And we still sit there looking like jackasses, not doing anything.
And want to be nice and want to hold hands. Hold on.
And I got watch this. Here's why I was saying I disagree with Brother Fatim. I got a text from Gary Chambers last night about something that was funny. He said, once again,
who's Gary Chambers? Who's Gary Chambers? So people know.
Okay, Gary Chambers is a political advocate here that had ran for office in the state of Louisiana, and he always talks about numbers. Numbers matter because you lie, I lie, numbers don't lie. Brother Fatim, here's where I disagree with you. Right, 88% did show up, but here's the point. If there was 1,000 of us registered to vote and only 200 of us showed up to vote, and 88% of that 200 is what they're talking about, here's what you're leaving out. The 800 that said, look, I'm on the sidelines, I ain't doing nothing. See, that's what I'm saying. Yes, if you break the numbers down, you can say, oh, black folks showed up. 88% of us showed up. But there was 1,000 of us who could have showed up, and only 200 showed up. And 88% of that 200 is what they're talking about.
And the 1,000 that didn't show up, the 1,000 that didn't show up was the ones that were tuned out. I kept saying that week after week after day on this damn show. They were tuned out. I don't want to hear.
I'm not.
Let me just finish. I don't want to hear about them was tuned out.
But you didn't let me finish. Okay.
So you paused. You went to take a damn drink, so I thought you was finished.
Hold on. So what I'm saying is, once again, you are absolutely correct, Brother Fatim. However, we still got to address, as you said, when you put a number out there and say, oh, we showed up. No, yeah, we showed, a percentage of us showed up, but let's talk about the percentage of us that didn't show up. And you're correct, Brother Fatim. You have been saying since day one, I'm not discrediting you. I'm saying you've been saying since day one, people are tuned out. That's why I simply put the following on. Hold it. Talk about the other post I put on there where I said, look, we need to start with self. Everybody needs to look their good self in the mirror this morning. I can't talk about other folks. I can't talk about nobody. I can only talk about me and say, what did I do to contribute to a win? What did I do to contribute to a loss? Because both sides of that equation, I did contribute something, period.
Did you see the map last night? Did y'all watch the maps? Do you understand that the power, even if these 1,000 other, say 800 didn't show up, wouldn't have made a difference? Wouldn't have made a damn difference. They swept our passes last night. There is no excuse, even if those 1,000 that on the sideline showed up. Did y'all watch the blue on these maps? Right. Did you see all this red? Did you see that we that we are a certain percentage of people in this country? Yes. Do you understand?
Even when there's a win, if I pull up a map right now and show you when the president won and he was a Democrat, the map is still more red than blue.
Right, but you had more. Right, but you had more people that voted blue in those red districts. That's the difference. Even though those districts would remain red, you had more white folks or other folks that voted. So they wouldn't flip the district, but you had more of them that voted. So you still had the concentration of that. Hey, you didn't have that yesterday. They cleaned our clock. There's no excuses on this.
Brother Fatim, at the end of the day, in my opinion, let me put that out there, as passionate as you want to be, and I understand your passion. Yesterday, there was a referendum. People eventually felt and believed that they were better off 4 years ago than they were today, period. That's one of the referendums that was on the table. People feel like inflation, regardless of what numbers you throw out there about jobs, no matter what numbers you throw out there about how people are making more money, people felt like their dollar was going further 4 years ago under Trump than they are today under Biden and Harris. And they did not see a Biden Walls being a new leap forward, but the continuation of 4 more years of them doing worse than they did under Trump. That's just the way it was. Period.
And you know what? Honestly, when Obama was in office, I felt it. Right, I felt it within my personal life, my professional life. Like I felt it. I knew what was going on. Right, when actually Trump was in office, I felt it. Right, I felt it. I experienced it. When Biden was in office, I ain't feel nothing. I didn't feel a change. I didn't feel a shift. I didn't feel any other progress. I didn't feel like that it touched me and impacted me directly. but I know when several other people were in office, it impacted me directly and I felt it. So for me, I'm like, you know what? I don't know about, the next 4 years of the same old okie doke, so, but guess what? Like you say, Fatim, the people spoke and they spoke loud and clear. So we
loud and clear.
And even when we look at racism within our country, right? People talk about racism in the South versus racism in the North. We know how racism in the South is, nigga, I don't like you. Nigga, get away. Don't look at me. Don't come my direction, right? But we know sometimes in the North, and sometimes we don't even recognize it. We just take it as, oh, they're my friends. Oh, they're my coworkers. But guess what? Sometimes they feel in the same exact way, but they still know how to smile and be cordial and so on and so forth. But they still, at the core, some people still feel the same exact way as those, the racism that prevails in the South. So go ahead.
I'm going to say something. No. I want to make sure you finish. I want to say something. The danger of this election. But before I do that, I want to read some of these comments. And folks, the phone lines are open, right, Joe? So the phone lines is right there.
They are.
So 225-250-8770, 225-250-8770. Laura Bell says, great risings and a sad day, people. Jessica Dewberry says, Simone Sanders is saying the same thing on MSNBC about the Dems not answering the ad about Kamala is for them and Trump is for us. Jason Washington, the elites will always give us a show. Eddie Bonnet says, why he was responding, let me open it up. Willie Pickens said Trump doubled his vote with the young black men than his last election. Eddie Bonnet said, why? Because young black men are tired of the ideologies being forced upon them. I have 2 black young sons who have spoken and said, stop with the extremes. Nakia Graham Hall said, it's embarrassing, shaking my head. Douglas Guidry said, that's why he won. Listen to what you're saying. Listen to your speech. Play it back. Jessica Newberry says, New York City, the 5 boroughs ticked up for Trump. He didn't win New York, but he got more support this time than the last time. It's very telling. I have a Republican council member back home in the Bronx. That speaks volume right there. Laura Bell, Trump won on anger and misogyny. Jessica Dewberry, the Latino men had issues with immigration and border control of all people. I'm just keep going down. Eddie Bonnet, they voted to keep men out of women's sports. Eddie Bonnet, they voted to end these wars. Nakia says he's coming for all on his hit list, shaking my head. I went back, so I'll just give me a minute to Pat Gabriel. If you're going with that, you're missing what happened. And I don't know exactly, Pat, because I don't know exactly with what you're saying. You have to explain if y'all are going with that, because you probably put that in when we were saying something. Give us some more specifics. Douglas Guidry. Oh no, Laura Bell, so much negativity in this world. She put her prayer hands. Douglas Guidry, it wasn't black or white issues. Stop that BS or bitching, guys. Jackie responded, Douglas Guidry, I ain't never scared. Jewel Wall, thank you. Last night, appreciate WBLS. Last night, I had a phenomenal panel with distinguished Barbara Arnwine, Esquire. Thank you, Brother Fatin. I appreciate that. Sister Jewel. Heidi, Heidi wrote a lot here. Mitch, we need our own party. We were hoodwinked into her as our nomination due to failure of them putting Biden in. No one wants our struggle. White is right, and that's what everyone entering the country knows. The youth need education on their history, the structure of this country, and how things work, etc. They don't think things are black and white. No matter how many Trayvons, etc., it's very disheartening. New York, New Jersey, New York are not democratic states. Black men need to get it together. They hate black women, but who do they call when in trouble and arrested? They need mental health. It's the white women, they vote against themselves every time. Education. So I read some of them. The problem in this one is we got our clocks beat so bad, and because of, I'm not saying, I've always called it post-traumatic slave syndrome. This is the danger of this, is that we got beaten so bad that you feel undefeated. And when you feel undefeated, you wind up feeling like, you know what? I got to join the other side. I remember me and Joe debated this, that if President Trump won, that, you know, he's the president and he would sit down with him and this, that, and other. I'm not sitting down with Trump because he won. Don't tell me his stripes has changed. His stripes haven't changed. So I'm not sitting down with a racist, a sexual abuser, and a convicted felon. I'm not, because right now somebody has been put in jail. But I'm not going to use weed, but just one thing that they can't go and apply for a job. But this son of a bitch is able to hold the highest office in this land. You understand? So I'm not sitting down with him. And it's not because I'm racist or I'm being bullheaded. What I'm saying is that he doesn't deserve that title. The people spoke, but because the people spoke don't mean that they're right. That's the bottom line. This is how quote unquote democracy, but this is not democracy. We know America is not the democratic country. It's just not. So I'm not sitting down with him. But what's going to happen, Jackson Joe, and like people in the chat, some of our folks are going to feel so defeated, they're going to join our adversary. And when they join the adversary, and that's what it talks about in the Bible about the new Babylon come out of her because she is fallen. Watch what happens. If they've tanked, you tank. All I can just say, I pray that things go well, because I don't have no power over legislation. All I can do is use my voice and use whatever tools I can to educate people. Mm-hmm. And that's what we'll do, because our ancestors have been down worse roads than what we're seeing now. But I'm telling you, it's not, yeah, today you could be emotional. You could be angry. It's fine. It's cool. But get yourself together, come up with a plan, and understand what your assignment is now.
Amen.
And understand the Democratic Party. Because if you come with the same okie doke Democratic Party, you're going to self-destruct. Mm-hmm. And just like Bernie Sanders is an independent and a progressive, he won another term. Mm-hmm. Maybe the Democratic Party, with this moderate view all the time, they need to be a little bit more progressive, mm-hmm. but they also need to listen to the people. That you can't shove things down people's throats. You got to be fair. You don't want to step on people's civil and human rights, but you also got to listen to the people. And that's what the American people spoke, and that's what they say. Stop with all this. Mm-hmm. Because it's America first. Didn't I tell y'all that when it comes to black folks first? Didn't I tell you that? Well, America spoke first. And that's what Trump said. We're putting America first again and not the world. And I keep telling black folks, you need to step up and put black folks first sometime and not worry about everybody else coming along sometime. Sometimes you need to be exclusive than inclusive.
That's right. And Trump doesn't play. Trump is a straight up old school gangster. That's how Trump rolls. Mm-hmm. He's like, y'all mess with me? All right, I got something for that ass. Trump doesn't play. You know, a lot of these other people that get in office, they pussyfoot around and, you know, mm-hmm. Oh, we don't want to offend this one and we don't want. Trump is like, I don't give a damn. This is what we need to do. And this is how we need to get it done. So for us, we need to realize what we need to do. Like we've been telling everybody for a long time, start with self. Start with self. Start with your own house. Figure out what you're going to do. Figure out what you believe in it, and go hardcore on it. You know, you got to damn near OD on it. And prayers up for those that suffer from anxiety, because I know around the world, those that suffer from anxiety or mental health issues, the results could have been a trigger for them, right? So now they're anxious. They don't know what to do. Oh my God, my healthcare might change. Oh my God, my this, might change. Oh my God, gloom and doom. The world is, whatever. You got to breathe. If you have faith, you can pray, because guess what? When you have faith and you can pray, that helps to ease some of the anxiety and changes the dopamine levels and everything in your brain to help you cope and manage things better. You need, because once you become engaged and civically engaged, you can shift the paradigm and you feel more in control as opposed to feeling like somebody else is in control. What you got for team?
Well, we got a caller on the line. Brother Douglas Guidry has called in. So Brother Guidry, good morning. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told, my brother. Talk to me.
Good morning, guys, from my three favorite people. I just want to say the United States has spoken. We voted a leader in, like you guys indicated. Not only did he win the popular vote, but he won the electoral college, which hasn't been done in my lifetime. But brother Fatim, I mean, just let it go, bro. The election is over. We've been divided for so long during this election. I can hear the hate. And I remember 4 years when Obama won, and the other side was spewing that same hate.
Wait, whoa, Douglas Guidry. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. See, you ain't gonna come on
I'm
here.
just calling a
Wait,
spade a
no,
spade,
you ain't
bro.
gonna come on here and spew no bullshit. What am I letting go? I told the truth this morning. Didn't I tell the truth that American people spoke? Didn't I say the Republican
Yeah,
Party?
listen, I did do that.
Wait.
I did do that.
Didn't I say the Republican Party whipped our ass? So what are you telling me to let go? What are you telling me to let go?
But
I told the truth, brother.
Okay.
But I also told the truth
then-
that what we got to do as a people, if we want to make progress in this country, what do I got to let go, brother?
We the people spoke last night.
And I said that.
Right.
So then what the hell do I got to let go? Don't put words in my mouth, brother.
Fatin, he just messing with you, Fatin. Leave him alone. He just messing with you.
Bullshit, man.
No,
Don't come in
listen,
here with that crap this morning, bro, because I ain't for it. You do something with somebody else, but don't come with, especially if I said we got our clocks clean. We got our clocks clean. The Democratic Party got to go back, look themselves in the mirror and look at themselves. I didn't make no excuses this morning, bro. So don't come on here pussyfooting around with me. That's the wrong person this morning to mess with.
I'm not gonna play this word salad game with you
And you
because
ain't
I know
got
what I
to,
heard.
but don't come at me when I just said what you guys did.
The guy won fair and square, and like I said, when Obama won, the other side was just as hateful. So I'm just saying, can we move on as a country?
Hold on, Guidry. Hold on, Guidry. Hold on. Just hold on
Eddie?
for a second. Yeah, I just need to go ahead and put both of them on at the same time. I assume that this is Eddie Barnett. Eddie Barnett, are you on?
Hey, good morning.
Okay, hold on. So I got Douglas Guidry and you both on. So both of y'all go ahead.
Eddie, let me get my point across, and then I digress, and then I give it back to you, brother Fatim. And that's how he won. That's how Trump was able to win, because the issues that the Democrat had, I mean, the felonies, and all this other mess was just obsolete. The American people was worrying about keeping dollars in their pocket and keeping transgenders out the bathroom with their daughters. So it was just a complete win for Donald Trump because of the same rhetoric. And excuse me, I know you're hot, and I know emotions are running high. And Eddie, go ahead.
My emotions are running high, Douglas Guidry, because the same thing you just said, I said. That's why I'm not hot because we lost. I'm hot because you called in and I said what you said. I said it before you called in. I don't need a Republican or a Donald Trump supporter to call in here for me to tell you what the weather forecast, or not the weather forecast, what the weather is outside. I said that this morning. So at least give me credit. You ain't got to give me credit, but don't say let go of something. I told and said the same thing what you said. The issues with the Democratic Party did not resonate with the people, and the people spoke. I said that. So don't come at me. That's all I'm saying.
Here we go with the same and dog and pony show. I did hear you mention the upcoming president in a not so good way. If you can rewind the tape,
the son of a bitch is a convicted felon. He is a convicted sex abuser. He is a son of a bitch, bro. He's not somebody that you would tell your children to look up to. So damn right, I'm not gonna speak highly of him. I don't give a damn if the people put him in office.
Brother, to say that none of us are perfect, we are more judgmental than any. We are not. None of us are perfect, brother. So we should be passing judgment on anybody.
But the same characteristics, would you vote for that to be the person that leads your office? Would that be the same person that you would vote the principal of your children's school? Just tell me that, Douglas.
Brother, I don't know what goes through the president's mind. You don't know what.
Oh, here we go. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, bro. Just finish what you got to say, bro. Go ahead.
You're perfect. You go on and stand on your soapbox. You're so perfect. Brother Eddie, go ahead, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Good morning. Good morning, brother Joe, brother Fatin, sister Jax.
Good morning.
What up, Eddie?
Good morning. I just really want to say this, man, because I'm definitely not calling to boast about anything. One of the things that I learned as I've been listening, of course, I had knowledge before, but as I've listened a lot, is to put ourselves in a position, man, to really not be so dependent upon any of these parties. If we have a situation, if we have a problem, I'm more sympathetic towards, the Black struggle, in a sense that we really always try to connect it with different people, and they not gonna carry it like we need to carry it. If there's a way that we really need to go, our interest in the things that we really care about, it's not going to be based on none of these parties. Not Republican, and it's sad to say, it's not the Democratic Party anymore. We really going to have to do something different, have major conversations, so that we can move forward. But we just what we saw, and in my opinion, we put so much confidence into that party, and there are so many other issues that the Democratic Party is focusing on, that they can't really focus on the struggle of the Black American.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's what I wanted to share.
Brother Eddie, let's just say this, and thank you for calling in. And once again, I've been kind of quiet and eyebrows up and listening, and I'm looking of course, I've got some other things I'm looking at also. Next 4 years, basically the Republicans are in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So conservative values, conservatism, Project 2025, when all this starts going into play, I want y'all same folks to call on here and say,
that's the thing too.
I'm just saying, hold on, Brother Eddie. I'm not saying nothing bad, because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, I'm not happy Trump won. I am sad that Kamala Harris is not our president. However, this people spoke. And just like I was sad when my Steelers lost against the Cowboys. But guess what? We got another game to play after that. And if the Lord say the same, and I'm still living, because each day is a day that is a gift. In 4 years, I'll be retired. All my children will be grown. I have a grandson that's coming up in this world. I'm concerned about more than just me and mine. I am concerned about how this place will look for years to come. And I understand that when you put certain folk in power, just like these Supreme Court judges that are now on the court, that were put there by certain individuals, they can affect generations of legislation and laws that will affect not only me and my bloodline, but will affect folks that look like me, folks who I hold dear. It will affect my people, Black and brown folks. So I'm just being conscious enough to say the following. Yeah, a person can be in office and give me everything I want, but what profits it me if I'm the only person who got it and nobody else that looks like me got anything? That's all I was saying, sir. That's all I was saying.
Okay. And at the end of the day, conservatism has won, and not in the sense of racism, conservatism. And I hope people really kind of get an understanding of that. America looked at how the direction and anybody can sit down. You can look at videos. We have multiple opportunities to be educated. I know a lot of people is talking about people not educated and low educated, but at the end of the day, parents were going to school board meetings. Parents were having to deal with ideologies that was being pushed upon their children. Parents actually stepped up in this, because being the opportunities to just be able to raise their kids without all of the extreme ideologies that were being, promoted. I think that's what America was tired of. So at the end of the day, and not so much that it's not so much based on America, just a moral country. But at the end of the day, man, there's still some commonalities. People really don't want all the extra stuff that was being promoted by the left.
Let me ask you this, Brother Eddie. Do you think now, because of the election of Trump, the taking over of the Senate and Congress by Republicans, that LGBTQA plus folks will now all of a sudden be eradicated and you won't have to deal with them no more in any shape, form, or fashion?
Yeah. Let me jump in here, because my mic was muted, and Eddie said something before that I wanted to respond to real quick. Not stepping on Joe's, is that I wanted to respond to something Eddie said that I thought was an excellent point. And Eddie, you didn't hear me say that because my mic was muted. I muted my mic when Douglas Gidney was speaking. You made mention about the Democratic Party, and you made mention about some of the issues that they were not listening to. And you even said Black issues. And I totally agree with you. And I said that was a great point that you made. That's why I said it's about having a conversation. It's about having a logical conversation, because we can agree to disagree when we talk logical. And I just thought that the points that you made, Eddie, right there. And when it comes to the Democratic Party, I'm gonna point out a couple of things. When Vice President Kamala Harris came out, and when she was asked, which I mentioned that she addressed this on Roland Martin's show about what is the Black agenda, she did not respond the way, even though she explained it more, how putting certain policies in place that will help Black people will help all people. That did not address the concerns of Black people. She did not, in the Democratic Party, did not listen to Muslim and Arab Americans about the genocidal war that was going on in Israel. You have a Democratic convention in a city, and you don't allow no Muslim or Arab American leader to have the Democratic National Convention. That is appalling. That is appalling. These are the things that I brought up when we were talking about Trump, this, that, and the other. And I kept saying, we know who Trump is, but we need to talk about the Democratic Party, because you continue to push the Democratic Party, which I'm a member of, but their skirt is showing. But no, we want to push Donald Trump. We felt that all the things that Donald Trump, and I still say, I'm surprised, not shocked, but I'm surprised that this election went this way. But Eddie, you did make a point that people did not, the Democratic Party did not listen. And I keep saying the Democratic Party doesn't, they use the same strategies year after year. And that's where I came up with this hamster on a hamster wheel. We keep going over and over and doing the same stuff, no new strategies, no new energetic people. You play the bullying game. You play the bullying game with certain candidates that want to have a voice out there. You want to stifle them. So yes, Eddie is right. And I said this to you, Eddie. I said that you can't mess with people's civil or human rights. But Eddie did say, I agree with Eddie. They should create bathrooms for those that want to be transgender. Let there be a female, male, transgender bathroom. Let it be something like that. But you can't, because see, Eddie, I said this before, and I don't know what I would do today. But when I came up with that whole thing, when my kids were in the 5th and the 3rd grade, and I was on school leadership team at PS 140, the Duke Ellington Elementary School in Jamaica, Queens, they said, well, how do y'all feel introducing these books, Two Mommies and Two Daddies? I voted that down. And the board, the leadership, we all voted it down because we felt at 5th grade level, that was too much for them in that way. If it comes up when you go to somebody's house, then that's a teaching moment. That's different. But that's a different kind of situation because now you are living it, but they're impressionable. I don't think that's, you don't give 5th graders sex education. That you choose to do that in your house, you do that in your house. But you give it to you when you go to high school because you're more age appropriate. And that's the kind of where we need to do this. So we got to start to listen to people. On the border thing, it just wasn't Black folks, but Black folks was complaining about this. They complained about the migrant issue. And then what happened in New York and New Jersey? Migrants come. They standing around lines around hotels. But the homeless before that, what they were doing, living on the streets. But then the city said, you got to get the migrants off the street. Didn't they find rooms? Didn't they put them in hotels? Did you do that for the homeless Americans? Did you do that for the homeless people that fought for this country? The Democratic Party didn't listen. Didn't listen. But let me just say this last thing. Mayor Eric Adams, again, he has to deal with going to trial for whatever. But it's amazing that he came out and spoke against the Biden administration and all the waterfalls fall down on his ass. It's amazing. He talked about the migrants issue and talked about we need more federal funding from Washington. If you want us to be these type of cities that accept these migrants, and we need money for this. What did the Biden administration do? And then all of a sudden, I'm not saying that what he did, if he did what he did, or he didn't do what he do. I'm not trying to make wrong right. But what I'm saying is the Democratic Party is hard-headed. And this morning they woke up with their head between their asses this morning and don't know what to say.
And I just to say this, brother Fatim, you have been communicating this. I watched a broadcast. I know a lot of times, that whenever there were people talking, those black people, they don't know what they're talking about. However, when I started looking at videos of people from the Somalian community, some people coming from the Ukrainian Americans, Muslim Americans, they had a press conference a couple of days ago, and they were talking about some things that I care about. They were, not core. They were saying we want our education, and through education, our children are failing. They were talking about economics that is not working. They were talking about the war. This one Somali, he actually talked about, and he was a diehard Democrat. He actually voted, did knocking doors for Barack Obama, all of those things. He said, and during the Obama presidency, his brother was killed, and he was like, man, whenever he found out, he's like, well, how did he get killed? It was a drone attack from the Obama administration. So even after that, he said he still was connected with the Democratic Party, but he was real hurt. But then he started seeing how the issues that was mattering, they weren't listening to. And that's what I feel like. Black people, I understand the things that y'all saying. Like Brother Fatim, you're very passionate about it. It's real. Like if those things are happening, it needs to be dealt with. However, I don't think that's the party that really cares about that. They're using the black struggle. And I said that when I first started. They have used the black struggle just to stay in power. They don't care. That's all I was saying.
Well, they're not in power no more.
Yeah. And you know what, Eddie and guys, like when you talk about using the black struggle to stay in power, when you think about some of the stuff that Trump, was originally saying he wants to roll out. So we know how it is. Black folks, we don't always have the greatest credit, and we have to build our credit, and we have to, especially now, be in position to do better, right? So one of the things Trump had talked about was in terms of interest rates, he wants to go to these major companies and lower the interest rates on credit cards, because we know a lot of these credit cards, it's like 24.9 or 29.99. Whatever. Trump is trying to roll that back to say 10%, right? So if he rolls that back to 10%, instead of paying potentially $70 in interest per month on your credit card, maybe you're only paying a fraction of that. Now you can help reduce your debt even that much faster and be more responsible. He talked about, like child tax credit, an increase in that. So he's trying to shift some monies around that if we use wisdom, we can still take advantage of whatever he potentially might roll out. We still know what he stands for. And of course, he's going to look out more for the elite, his people. But if we use wisdom, we could then still take advantage of what still is there and still use it to our benefit as well, so that we can grow our family, so that we can, get out of debt and move differently. Because we've been moving the same way generation after generation after generation. And now there's no excuse to continue to move that same way, because we have platforms like this. You have, social, other forms of social media. You have a whole computer at your fingertips every single day that you could literally look up anything at any point to do better. If you don't know how to get out of debt, if you don't know which credit card should I pay off first, the one with the highest balance or the one with the lowest balance versus the one with the higher interest rate or the one with the lower interest rate, you can Google that and find out that information to do better. We know Trump at some point is going to, put money into, small businesses, right? On some level. So we have to be in position as a Black folk. We need to have our paperwork ready. Right. We need to have our stuff organized and in position. So when those grants or that federal funding opens up, we can get right in line and hurry up and scoop up what's there before other nationalities scoop it up and it's all gone. And then we're wondering, how come they got a business? How come they got a store? How come they got this and that?
You said it right. We don't have our paperwork. We don't have it together, but we expect then everything to come to us. Absolutely. Though we don't have our stuff together. And that is where we need to drill down, as I said at the beginning of the show. That's why we got to look at self. We got to look at self and understand there is something we did ourselves to contribute to the situation and the position that we are in as a person, as a family, as a culture, as a people. We got to look at self.
So if it's a business that we all said, you know what, I want to start this business. And you might have said this 20, 30 years ago, maybe before you became a mom or a dad or, just whatever. You could have said when I was in college, I always want to start this business. Guess what? Start it now. Start it now. Get in position. Even if you don't really have the money to fund it, at least get the paperwork in. And many times the paperwork does not cost that much. If you want an LLC, maybe $125 or something, get some of the paperwork done. If you wanted that nonprofit, get that done, or the for-profit, get it done. Get in position and don't complain, and start figuring out what you can do to elevate yourself during this next administration. Because guess what? Whether you like it or not, it's here. And you're going to be living Lord's will, and you got to figure out what the hell you're going to do next. So now it's time to really start changing and impacting change and being a change agent. That's what it's about, y'all. We got to become change agents. We can't keep sitting back and just letting the world go by and, twiddling our thumbs and complaining. We have to be more active, right? And proactive, not just reactive, because that's what we do too much as a people. We're very reactive, not proactive.
And I got to go. I just want to say this. I'm hanging up. Just to every person, I want our people to not feel like you're a loser. Like you're not a loser. That this, whatever situation that's going on right now, I want each individual person, because I know there's some people that's hurt, but I'm just speaking to your life right now. You are not a loser. You are a winner. Your identity is not dictated on politics.
That's right.
You have an identity that's greater than politics, and know who you are. Pick your head up on today. Those who might have their heads down, pick your head up, because this is not the end. This is only temporary. We just passing through. Make the most out of it. Like Brother Joe always said, be better today than you were yesterday. That's it. That's where we gotta be right now. Like, we need each other to really just get up and not think we're losers. The enemy wants us to believe that we're losers, but we are victorious. We are winners. Look at everything we have been through as a people to make it to today. And guess what? We can rejoice, because a lot of people didn't make it that far.
Yeah. Amen.
Well said. Well said.
Well
I
said.
think
Thank
that
you.
I think
brother.
I think the last.
You have a good day.
All right, Eddie. I think the last three comments by Joe, Sister Jax, and Eddie were right on point. I don't have nothing to add on that. I sorry, y'all. I'm just not gonna let Douglas Guidry call in and say something that I just, I said.
You trying to rile you up, man.
Yeah, you gonna try to chastise me on what I said, not what I said, but I said the same damn thing you said. You understand? So that's it. But what Joe the last three comments from Joe, Sister Jax, and it makes me think back to Ronald Reagan. When Ronald Reagan won, again, I wasn't into the politics back then, but I remember the discussions back then, and what the discussions were, and this goes back to Ronald Reagan, that the Democrat Party was the handout party, and the Republican Party was the party that wants you to go out there and work for work to earn what you need. So what they were saying, and I looked at it for what it was, I still say those that need, the government needs to help. But I also looked at it from the perspective that what Sister Jack says, go out there and start yours. It's nothing wrong to be on public assistance, but I know somebody that milked the system. I'm not going to call her name, but she milked the system, y'all. She milked the system every year. But every year she had her kids in sheepskin coats, little kids, sheepskin coat, because she was into that fashion, Gucci sneakers, this, that, and other. But she was on public assistance, y'all.
Come on.
She milked the system. But then something must have changed for her. And the next thing I know, she was standing on her own feet, and she put herself further than I am. And I graduated college, and she didn't even go to college. She became a landlord and owned buildings in Boston, Massachusetts. Milked the system, but then got off of the system and became an entrepreneur.
That's right.
And that's what Sister Jax is just saying. Become the entrepreneur. Just like Jax, you just said to me, today's the start. I'm going to tell y'all, Sister Jax has been on me for some months now. The team, you need to go out there and do public speaking. You know what? You can't write that major book, but put a little book out there that you have a book. It raises not only your credibility, even though you have a resume, a talk show host, this, that, and other, but put a book out there. You can sell those books and when you go to speak, this, that, and the other. I already formulate as we talk. When you just said what you said, I said today, if it's not today, it's going to start. And I'm going to put this thing together. I have a way now to put this in and turn it around like this.
That's
I'm going to
right.
do it, because now it's not about complaining. It's about doing. And we got to take advantage of each moment right now. We got to, because the next day is not promised to none of us.
Amen.
True.
Amen.
Amen, Fatine.
So blessed that you are to the point where you're ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because iron has to sharpen iron. We all have to put forth some actionable steps. And it's not about any of us being better than the other one. And for me, I get passionate about it because I'm just like you guys. We're around a lot of people. You know, this podcast is not our life. You know, we
Right.
engage
Right.
with so many other people. We talk to so many other people. We have so many other perspectives, and we do so much within our own communities on a daily basis. So we see the potential and the growth, and we see the greatness within our people. But sometimes our people do not see the greatness within themselves. And I'm a little hard, even when I do my art therapy, even when I'm doing my regular therapy and coaching with my clients, I come at them hard as hell. But guess what? They come back to me and be like, yo, Jax, thank you so much. I was able to leave working at this station, and now I'm running this, or, I started this business and I did this. And I want you to be greater than me, because guess what? I need somebody to look up to help fuel my fire. So for me, my first one to look up to is the Most High, right? So that helps to fuel my fire, so that I can help everyone else. But I do have people like you guys that I speak to as well that sharpen me. That's why we have to be careful who we spend our time around, who we talk to.
Guard the time
on a regular basis. Guard your time, because time is priceless, y'all. And we don't have time to be wasting on nobody, especially on nobodies that ain't trying to get nowhere or do nothing. We got to, like I say, whether it's in your family, in your in the cubicles next to you at your job, whether it's at the gas station, we got to watch who the heck we deal with, because they will steal our joy and take it and recycle it and then steal somebody else's joy as well. We got to keep our joy and keep our peace of mind and do what the heck we got to do. So that we can,
amen.
Because I want to support all y'all. I want to buy some of your books, Fatine. You know what I'm saying? Joe, I want to support your business. All our viewers out there, look, if you have a business right now, y'all, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If there's yes.
Right. Let's do that now, because normally we try to do that around Black History Month. When we first started the podcast, we jumped out and told folks, look, we're going to support your business. Put who you are. We'll put you out there. Let's, like Jack said, why can we not use what we got to get what we need? Come on, family. A friend of mine just sent me a text message, and it blessed my soul.
Mm-hmm.
The text message said, simply, understand the same God that gave you David, the same God that gave you King Solomon, the same God that gave you Jesus, also allowed Pharaoh to keep his people for 400 years in bondage. He said, remember, it's the same God. And sometimes God is trying to tell you something. And I just had to smile when that person sent that, because I was like, sometimes sometimes the only way you're going to start, even a lot of folks woke up this morning. I wake up every morning in prayer. Every morning I wake up in prayer. Yeah. Every morning before I turn on the TV, before I go into a cell phone, I'm in prayer. But this morning, because of what happened last night, a lot of folks who normally don't pray, I promise you, they woke up this morning praying.
Right.
So sometimes a wicked man has to get put in a high place to turn you back to whom you really need to be connected to from the first place. Because it ceases to amaze me that however your belief system is, if you believe or if you don't believe, let something bad happen. Let you fall down and break something. First words out your mouth is, oh God, oh gee, something. But you ain't all of a sudden, oh, I don't believe. But you might come out with ish. But your mind goes into a place where you go back to from which you came. So that's all right. I'm saying is right now, I'm not at a point in my life that I'm so disappointed about what happened yesterday and this morning that it's doom and gloom. At the end of the day, guess what? I can put a picture up of certain folks' houses, and I promise you, their house still look the same today as it looked 10 years ago. Their neighborhood looks mostly the same, might be a few changes. And at the end of the day, we just got to do this. Start with self. Start with self and do it quick. Check yourself out, make your little checklist, say this is what I need, and start moving forward and making the changes that you need to change to be better.
Absolutely. And
Period.
you know what, Joe? And sometimes it doesn't even have to be such a grandiose change. You know, everybody
Right.
is built to be an entrepreneur. So being an entrepreneur is definitely, you working 24/7. It's definitely not an easy task, right? But even if you decide not to be an entrepreneur, you can still support an entrepreneur or some way, but you can still shift. But the biggest thing is shifting your mindset. And we have to shift our mindset. Many times when we're living in an environment full of clutter and mess, whether it's in our car, our home, whatever, that's a sign of what's going on the inside. So we have to literally, even today, y'all, if you just take the time and say, you know what, let me clean out that junk drawer in the kitchen. You know, start with something as simple as the junk drawer. You know, they got the soy sauce packets, the duck sauce, pins and keys and paper clips and bobby pins
and honey packs.
honey packs.
That part, my brother. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, got it. Let's get it.
But don't eat
get it.
Exercise for the next 5 days and
Yes,
work
yes,
on some of
sir.
this anger and
Hold it,
stress.
hold it. Brother Fatigue, brother Fatigue. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's
I need to work on some of this frustration.
Yeah.
go.
But
But straight up, I mean, like I said, you could say today, you like literally write it down. I write everything in my notes in my phone. I write what bills I pay, my to-do list, what I need to do personally, professionally, for my husband, for my kids. You know, write it down in your notes in your phone. If you don't like to do that, write it down on a piece of paper. I have a notebook with me at all times. I'm forever writing stuff down, right? So do that. If you say, I'm gonna start with my junk drawer today, one junk drawer in the kitchen, then you might say, you know what? I want to rearrange the dishes in my cabinets. Now start with that. Maybe the next day say, you know what? I really want to start cleaning out my closet, right? Or I want to start cleaning out my car. It's just the little things, just little steps day by day. And as you start to have your environment cleaned up, your mind is going to start to clean up. Because sometimes when you have so much your mind is real estate, right? When you have so much cluttered up in there, you can't really think clearly. You can't really process things the right way. You're not thinking the right way. You're feeling down and depressed, and you look around your house or your room and you're like, oh my God, like I don't even know what to do first. So you just give up. We can't just go ahead, Patine.
Yeah, let me say this too, and thank you for that, Sister Jax, and not blowing it off because it's there. I'm gonna use what you said, but I want to talk to Sister Laura Bell directly right now because she said something in the chat. She said some things, nothing bad. She just expressed how she felt, and then she apologized. In case he said, "No, don't apologize for how you feel." And what Sister Jax is good advice, but before you get there, there's that damn moment. It's that damn moment. Just like Florida in Good Times, when James in the past and she was moving around and this, that, and other. Mom, why are you doing this? Well, this is how we do it. But she had that damn, boom. You got to do that. You can't just clean up them drawers if you got a damn moment. You got to honor those. When you feel frustrated, you feel anger, you don't want to do something to hurt yourself or hurt others. That's not what you want to do, but you got to release that. And what Jax is saying, channel that energy and then channel that into something positive. Yeah, but let's deal with this, Sister Laura. There's nothing wrong with feeling the way that you're feeling today. You don't have to apologize. I'm not apologizing for calling Trump a son of a bitch. I ain't apologizing for raising my voice today, but that's how I feel. But the difference this time is I understand where we're at. Part of this is a little show too, and a little bit. And now I'm more in control because I can turn it on and turn it off. What I don't like is the people that say what I didn't say or misconstrue what I say. That's the worst thing. Don't ever lie on me.
Yeah.
That will bring out the lion in me. I have the lion in me. I have the Judah lion in me. I'm never going to trade that. My Judah lion is not going to come my pussycat. He's not going to turn.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going to have to fight for no rights for the Judah lion in me because it's always going to be wrong. It's always there.
Yeah.
Okay? So what I'm saying is you have to have that damn moment. And sometimes you got to get that frustration out. But when you get that frustration out, it allows you now to think a little bit more clearly because sometimes you got to get that steam off. That's why I joked just now for a moment because I ain't got no daggone honey packs in there. But what I'm saying is don't think this morning when I got up when I put that Tiana Taylor out there, I said, you know what? Maybe I do need to smack a little bit. Oh, excuse me, different show. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to work off your frustration. Some people go play paddleball. Some people go play basketball. Some people go to the gym to work out. Some people have sex. Some people, but would take that energy and release it. And sometimes you got to release it because you got to be aggressive with it. So cleaning out a drawer, I can't be aggressive with that, Sister Jack. Rearranging dishes, they'll get thrown around the house like flying saucers. Like, you know, so that ain't gonna be it. Sometimes you got to release that tension, and you have to find out how to release that tension, but try to release it in a positive way. Because when you release that tension, sometimes by releasing that tension, it also has the positive effect of releasing those endorphins. Didn't we talk about that dopamine with the doctor? So sometimes you got to get to that point. So once you come down, your shoulders is not as stressed. Now you can think clearly because you got that. Because a lot of times we build this up, then we redirect it, but we really haven't really redirected because it's still here. We haven't released it, and we have to release it. So yeah, I don't run from it. If it's sex, if it's sports, if it's walking, jogging, or whatever, rechannel that, but you gotta release it. You gotta get that tension. The doctor said that he had that tension on him. Sometimes you gotta cry. Sometimes my daughter cried on the phone this morning. I did not baby my daughter. I told her I understood, but you needed that because that's what life is. You face reality this morning. You face reality, baby girl. So I didn't tell her, don't cry. I let her cry this morning because I know what she was feeling. I know. And now she can empathize with what I do out there or did and why. Because that's why I told her this morning. That's why your father did what he did before I met you, before I made you, and before I met your mother. Now you have to feel it because now you feel it. Now you can be inspired and motivated to go out there and make a difference and make a change and not just talk about it because now you emotionally charged from it.
That's right. And that's great, Fatim. That's great. And you know what? There's a page in my book, right? You talked about crying. There's a page in my book that says crying can cleanse your soul and help you refocus to achieve your goals. Because sometimes we do have to let the tears flow. And once those tears flow, because guess what? People don't realize that there's a different composition in tears from crying from anger, crying from happiness. Sometimes we cry because we're so happy. Like I know when my son got his first big scholarship for school, I literally dropped down on the floor and was weeping like a baby. I was so thankful. So if you were to take those tears and put it under a microscope, genetically, it's different than the tears of if I were angry, right? So sometimes we just have to let those tears flow. And that's why for me, and I know for a lot of other people, prayer is so important because when you have that moment where you can reflect and you could pray, and like scripture says, God can give you the peace that passeth all understanding. So when you're in a tumultuous environment or things get crazy and you at least have that ability to pray, right? So even though we can't physically see God, but at least if we're able to take that emotion that we have at that moment and shift it someplace else, whether it's imaginary, fictionary, whatever the heck you want to call it, that still helps to give a release as well. Just putting that burden someplace else. But like we always talk about, you still got to do the work. You can't just try to put that burden off of somebody and just sit back and leave your life how it is. No, you still got to put in the work. So it's all about healing, being transparent, moving forward. And most importantly, it's about being honest with ourselves. Because too often we lie to everybody else, including ourselves. We be honest with ourselves about where we are right now, why we are where we are right now, and what the hell can we do to get out of the situation we are in right now. And if you don't want to try to get out of it, you the biggest problem in the world. It's you. So we all got to do better. And we can do better because we are the greatest people on the face of the earth. We are the most. Why do you think they're trying to destroy us so much? Because they see our greatness. They see we're beautiful, we're talented, we're funny, we're creative, and they don't want that to live. So from years ago, they've been trying to destroy it. But guess what? If you don't move, you're allowing yourself to be destroyed and another great generation to be destroyed. So get up, y'all. Let's make it happen and clean out your damn junk drawer because it's a mess.
Got some
24 minutes. 24 minutes past the hour. Y'all, we are broadcasting live. Hashtag Truth Be Told. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, Sister Jax, Brother Fatim. We're broadcasting live on Facebook. We're on Instagram and we're on YouTube. You definitely need to keep it locked in with us because we're going to be your information station and your source for conversation for every situation because we got chatter that matter. You can catch us on Instagram at the JDMS. To all my people on the gram, I see there's a bunch of folks on the gram. Good morning to y'all. And yeah, it's the day after. Also on YouTube, we are at 100BLK Media. You can also check us out at the Black Station, which is www.the100BLK. I've got links to Brother Fatim. I got links to Sister Jax. I got links on top of links on top of links. You get a link. Look, send me your business and I'll put your link up there. That's how I feel about that. Because at the end of the day, we got to support one another and push the narrative that as a community, if we love on one another, build one another, invest in one another, work with one another, we can win with one another.
Absolutely. And you know, Fatim and Joe, when I think about it right now, right, with all that's going on, it's going to stress some people out with this election, right? So we recognize that. But for those that have issues with alcohol and drugs, now definitely is not the time, right? Because if no matter what feeling you feel in that moment, if you decide to indulge in alcohol, alcohol is a depressant. It's going to make you that much more depressed, right? Now, if you're on medication and drinking alcohol, basically you have to take about 10 times as much medication in order for it to work because the alcohol dilutes it and messes it all up, the composition of it. So, and you'll die that way, right? So definitely don't drink out a bunch of alcohol and take medication, but shut up, Fatim. But also don't indulge. We have
I know ain't nobody gonna put their wacky weed down, so don't tell them that because they gonna zone out for a few. They gonna zone out for a few.
The weed man woke up this morning. The weed man woke up this morning with a smile on his face. He said, the weed man said business for this week is going to be good.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
But so I agree with you. I agree with you, Sister G.
And even with food, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes in times like this, like I said, when people experience stress and anxiety, they, fall into their lower, their lower nature, right? And vibrate on a lower level. So they might want to become even that much more promiscuous this week. They might want to drink a lot this week, smoke a lot, smoke more cigarettes because they're at work, maybe stressed out and just everybody standing outside talking. And, sometimes it's cold as hell, but they still be shivering out there smoking a cigarette, So we just have to really think what is good for us mentally, physically, and emotionally and try to stay food. You know what I'm saying? Some people just be stressed out, greedy as hell.
Jax, I got to slow you down. Because one of the things, you're giving good advice, but it becomes like, and don't take this personal. It becomes like you're lecturing. Sometimes you got to allow people, you can tell them, but you also got to let them breathe. We got to breathe. If I walked in the house today and my daughter had a drink, Daddy, I'm frustrated. I understand. What we don't want you to do is to drown yourself in that.
Absolutely.
So I understand. So I understand what Sister Jax is saying. I'm not, because a lot of people say I'm criticizing. But what we fail to do, Sister Jax, is to allow people to feel. When you go to and sit on that couch in a psychiatrist's office, what do they let you do? They take you back to the moment and they let you experience that. They tell you if you want to lash out verbally, if you want to cry, if you got to deal with your emotions. And what we can't do is we giving directives that are great directives, but we're forgetting that small beginning is dealing with the now.
Absolutely.
We have to deal with the now. That's why I thought about it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tomorrow because I got to go to the airport, but I'm bringing a group of young people in here. I'm gonna invite some that are political astute. I'm gonna invite some that are not. I don't know if my daughter will come on. I don't know. She will not be scripted. They can say what they want to say.
That's right.
Because a lot of times, me, Jax, and Joe, we come from a background of understanding certain things. And even if we didn't live through it, we understood those that did live through it. A lot of our children, somebody said to me the other day that when they were born with a Black president. That's what they don't understand some of the things that we may understand. I want to know how they feel this morning. how they felt this morning. Like I said, I had to listen to my daughter. But then she conferenced me in with one of her girlfriends. I knew this girl when she was a kid. But she's talking to me and she letting profanity go. I mean, they grown.
Yeah.
They grown. I'm not telling that young lady, oh, watch your words. They grown. They expressed how they felt this morning. I just sat back and listened because it was a growing moment. It wasn't even a teaching moment. The teaching moment is what they are feeling, what they're experiencing. When they went out there and felt that they did their duty and felt that looking at the characteristics of the candidates, that Vice President Kamala Harris morally stood on a more stronger moral ground than Donald Trump, and that their vote seemed like it didn't count or it didn't go as far. How could America let him down? How could the people let him down? My daughter said something to me as I was driving. She said, Daddy, I spoke with 2 males yesterday, and they said they're not voting for Vice President Kamala Harris because she's a woman. Daddy, this is a man's world. She started. That's when the tears. That's when the tears. Give it to you straight, baby. Baby, this is the reality. I can go out there and sleep with 20 women. You go out there and sleep with 3 guys. You're a whore. I got notches on my belt, patted on the back by some. This is the reality that we deal with, but that don't have to be your truth. It don't have to be the truth. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to realize who controls the narrative is in control. Who's in control? Excuse me. Who's in control controls the narrative. And right now, the Republican Party is in control and they control the narrative. That don't mean that we lay down and don't fight. But the first thing is we cannot dumb down our folks or what they're feeling. I understand what Sister Jax is saying, and she's giving it to you today. But if that don't apply today, and if you gonna clean that junk drawer out tomorrow or the next day, that is great advice. But today, if you got that moment that you gotta,
absolutely,
you gotta beat that table. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta go in that room and yell. You got to get that off of you, because now you got to clear your mind. You got to come up and be focused and be determined, and don't realize control anger. Is nothing wrong with control anger, long as it's not controlling you. There's nothing wrong with being mad. It's nothing wrong with being angry, but you must control it and take that energy, because that heated energy, that heated light can grow into something and blossom into something good. So that's why I don't want to chastise nobody how they are feeling this morning, because how you are feeling is how you are feeling.
Absolutely. And you know what, Fatine, and I love your words, and it's so true. How you're feeling is how you are feeling. You have to give yourself that moment to breathe and grieve. But eventually we do have to get back on the horse, right? So I always talk about overindulgence. We have to be careful, right? So sometimes it's not a time it's okay to get down, but the whole thing is you can't stay down. Now, I would never try to push the narrative like, if you got to go out today and, do what you got to do and be down and be angry. Guess what? Some people get down and angry and stressed out, and they go on a spree where they're getting high, right? Now they so angry and down and depressed, they could do a little bit too much today, and that could be the end of their life. So I try to get people to, in that moment, process what's going on, figure out, your next steps, but still do everything. Whatever you do is your business, but do it in moderation. So I would never want to give, and I'm not giving anybody a pass to do anything. They do what the hell they want to do because they're grown. But just be cognizant of the fact that whatever you decide to do, you might want to go on a binge and say, you know what? Fatine said, feel it, be in it, drink. Now they drink and drive and going down the street, and now they kill your loved one. You understand? So we have to do things in moderation and still be careful. So even when you feel, you still have to be responsible in those feelings, right? So that's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Joe.
Today, as I always say, when I used to teach this class, when I used to work at the sheriff's office, and I used to teach a class for to help with formerly incarcerated individuals, I used to always say FFH, facts, feelings, hearsay. Today, you really need to stick to the facts. Try your best to stay out your feelings and don't listen to any hearsay. And look your good self in the mirror and just begin to do what you need to do to be a better you. And sometimes being a better you don't have to hear it from other folks.
Mhm.
What you have to do is just say the following. I'm going to trust the God in me.
Mhm.
I'm going to trust the God above me. I'm going to trust the God around me to lead me, guide me, and to direct me, because I can't do this on my own. Sometimes you just got to say, I can't do this on my own.
Mhm.
And you've got to get to a place that you admit to, as I said at the beginning of the show, you got to look your good self in the mirror and say, what did I contribute to the win? What did I contribute to the loss? And what can I do better next time, that whatever feeling it is, be it good or be it bad, that next time that feeling, especially if it's a bad feeling, won't come back again. Because all you got to do is course correct. Course
Yeah.
correct, family. It's not that hard to make the changes you need to make to come out with the results you need to come out with. I tell people it's real easy. If somebody out there has showed you how to save money to buy whatever it is you want, you don't have to go through going in debt.
Exactly.
Go figure out how they did it. Sister Jack said it 100%. There's 50 million YouTube videos out there. Go out there and say, oh, so I need to get an envelope and put $5 in it every time I get paid, and not touch that envelope for X amount of days. And then one day, if you follow the same formula the person did, you'll open up that envelope and be like, wow, there's how much money ever I needed it to be in this envelope to go get what I don't have to go get credit. I don't have to do this. I have the money. And you'll find out that we throw away. I know some folks that literally throw away $20 to $30 a day on just eating snacks, doing little things, going to the bodega, as y'all would say in your neck of the woods, what we call the corner store. You know, throw away $30 away on coffee and snacks. Put that $30 to use and put it away, and see how many times, if you didn't spend it and you ate healthy, ate a little salad, do something that takes you out your comfort zone. Hashtag moving forward, death to comfort zones.
That's right.
Hashtag death to your comfort zones. Stop being comfortable being in mess.
That's right.
Get uncomfortable and get better.
That's right.
That's all I gotta say.
And you know,
All I
and
gotta
Joe,
say.
that takes discipline, you know. And so often our people are just so used to instant gratification. We just want to, you know, get the direct outcome like immediately, as opposed to, you know, looking at life like a marathon. We just look at it as a race. Like we just want to get to the finish line and that's it, you know. But we need to slow it down, pace ourselves, and develop a solid plan, right? Develop a solid plan to get there, because we can all get to our desired destination should we put forth that effort and try, right? And if we faint sometimes, you know what? That's why you got to have those solid people around you to help pick you up. Not the ones around you that's gonna be like, oh, I know it's tough, you know, don't worry about it. Just, you know, stay down and lay down because I'm depressed too. So now we're gonna be depressed and complaining together. No, you need that solid network around you to be like, you know what, it's all right. Dust yourself off, get up, let's keep on going. I ain't gonna let you give up. Like I love watching those videos where people are running in a marathon, and maybe the person that's near the front of the race, the legs just give out, you know, fatigue, all the lactic acid is built up and their legs are like noodles. They're all falling down. But you'll always catch another racer many times will backtrack or speed up to get them and help to try to lift them up, to help them to go over that finish line, right?
Amen.
Those are the type of people you need in your life to help you and encourage you and inspire you to go past that finish line. And we all need it, right? And for me, whenever I'm talking to our audience or anybody else, I'm always talking to myself first, right? Always talking to myself first, because just like I'm telling y'all, if you need to clean out your junk drawer, guess what? The other day, I cleaned out one of my junk drawers, and I got one more I need to clean out too. So I would never talk over or down to somebody, because I'm always talking to myself first. So we have to keep that in perspective and just strive and push that much harder. And it's not easy. It's not easy to change old habits, you know, but we have to be determined enough and put those boundaries in place and say, you know what, I'm gonna put in the work. I might be uncomfortable, you know, but it's all right. That's where growth actually happens. You know, you can't give forth life and push a baby out, right, until you're actually uncomfortable. Those contractions, those pains start coming, you're uncomfortable. And that's where the life begins.
I want to say this to Brother Fatim, and I want to give my brother from another mother big props right here. It just hit my spirit. Brother Fatim has been right all along about some things. And here's the problem. We've been here courting the symptoms of sickness in our community, in some of the political structures we support, and some of the things going on around us. We've been courting the symptoms of sickness, and we've been acting just like most Black men act 24/7, 365. Oh, I'm gonna be all right. Man, that cough sound pretty bad. I'm gonna be all right, man. I'm just take a couple of cough drops and some rope. No. You need to go see somebody and get some professional help because, brother, that cough sounds bad. I'm gonna be all right, man. You know, I really don't trust them systems like that. You know, we've been here during the course of this soon to be a year of doing the podcast. Brother Fatim been like, you know, we sick, right? And people been, no, we all right. We good. We good. We gonna be all right. Just a cold. Just a cold. No, that cold done now turned into pneumonia. That pneumonia has now put you in a coma and you on life support. It's time that we start realizing before things get to level 4, level 5, stage 6, and it's terminal, that we've got to go get help. And the truth about it is, family, if anything, we need to realize right now, it's time to stop doing what we were doing, because what we were doing is not working. And Brother Fatim, I want to hit you with this and a round of applause, brother. I appreciate, even though you sometimes really passionate in the way you say it, but guess what? You've been right all along, bro.
Appreciate it.
It's time for something new, and it's time for some action.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to read a couple of comments. I just want to give you an update. I apologize, and there's no disrespect to my team and no disrespect to the people in the chat, but sometimes I'm doing so many different things. I know we're in the middle of the show. Things can change, so I'm just saying now, like I said, last night we did a WBLS Open Line special edition election night show, and we'll be back on our Wednesday night show tonight. If anybody watches MSNBC, you would see him time to time, Professor Eddie Gord. So I've been back and forth with Professor Eddie Gord. He will be our guest tonight at 8 p.m. He will be our guest tonight at 8 p.m.
Tell him how to find you. Tell him how to find you.
Go to the Facebook page. Go to Facebook page and put in WBLS 1075.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it up there for him. Hold on.
Yeah.
Keep on going. Keep talking.
Go to Facebook, put in WBLS 1075 NYC, and that will bring you to our Facebook page. So if we schedule to come on at 8, sometime I come on a little after 8. You know how us folks, come there. So at the end of the day, that's that. I want to read some of these comments here. I just gave my shameless plug of the show tonight, because Professor Eddie Gord is a brother who I just think he's dynamic. And these are the kind of people that we have to have this kind of conversation with out there. So with Professor Eddie Gord coming on tonight, tonight is, I'm not bombarding it with a lot of guests. We had a lot of guests from across the country last night. But tonight, let me read some of these comments here. Let's go. Jessica Dewberry says, I am more calm, eerily calmer than I was the day after Trump won the first time. We've been through this before and survived. We will survive again. This world has tried to end us all over the planet, and we are still here. Laura Bell, we had been lied to forever. It never stopped. What is this? Scamaron Diaz writes, talking about what's in that book when you're not practicing what was being preached in it is comical and hypocritical. Laura Bell says the disappointing part is we fall for the okie doke. Jewel Wall says extremely important. Darlene Bryant says excellent advice, Brother Fatim. Why do I keep messing this up? Scamaron, there you go. Scamaron Diaz, talk your talk, Brother Fatim. Rhonda Hairston, people were asking God to help them last night, and she got her eyes down like that. Laura Bell, I'm just trying to get these on topic. Laura Bell, I say this again, I don't care if no one agrees with me. Right now, it's hard for me to give out something positive. Laura, we embrace you, sister. That's why I spoke to you. You ain't got to apologize.
Mhm.
You want to jump up and down and curse, just as long as you don't hurt yourself, sister,
Right.
or hurt no one else. You got to get that out. There's nothing wrong with feeling frustrated this morning. You know me. I turned to when I saw Tiana Taylor. When that black dress she was wearing yesterday, I was like, let me change my energy getting up this morning. And I put that picture out there, giving that sister credit, looking good, because I had to change my energy. I had to change my energy, and you know what to put a smile on my face. Our sisters, I keep queens around me. If I can't keep physical queens around me, I just keep them in pictures or whatever. I love our sisters. That puts a smile on my face.
He's the ladies,
Laura,
man.
not the ladies, man.
Number
Laura
one.
Bell said, I'm not here for approval. Casey says to Rhonda, here's to supposedly sis, you know, the Bible thumpers always have an excuse for everything.
Oh my God.
You know they go. Laura Bell, I'm here to listen and read. Jessica Dewberry, Laura Bell, you are always positive. You owe it to yourself and no one else to feel how you feel. Rhonda Harrison says exactly, let people be. No, you're not lecturing, Brother Fatine. You have to let the person experience it. Cannot tell them what to experience. KC says to Laura, that is perfectly okay. Focus on protecting your peace. Allow yourself to feel what you are feeling. I'm sending lots of love and comforting energy to you. Jessica Dewberry said, if you voted, you did your job. Jessica said, yep. I don't know, set apart, just said exactly. I just want to see that we are seeing them. Your chats. I just want to take a moment just to pay some time because we're talking a lot and you are part of the team. Jessica Dewberry, I thank God I feel okay, calm, not nauseated like the last time. Life is lifting, life is lifing, and life goes on. We are warriors. Set apart, consequences to everything, good and bad. Laura Bell, I'm just tired of letdown. And that part there, we are tired of the letdown. And that's why I keep saying, and I know this gets a little sensitive because Joe is in law enforcement and Jack's husband is in law enforcement. But I've said this before, and I wasn't proud and happy to say it. But I said when that police brutality was going to, it continues to happen, unfortunately, some of the law enforcement are going to wind up on the other side of the gun. And when you on the other side of the Elmer's Fudd gun, it don't feel good. And then you saw when President Obama was president and it was going on, police brutality, and he wanted to call a bear summit. Somebody went in Texas and started shooting and taking out cops. Oh, they took that person out. But that sent a message. What did President Obama do? He ran down to Texas to have a town hall. See, you do this, but then when other people shoot back or fire back, you understand what I'm saying? Just be careful out there.
So Brother Fatine,
yes, sir.
Before you go any further, we do have somebody on the phone.
Okay, cool. I just want to get to some of these comments here because
we'll
there's a lot
get
of comments out here.
Because we got about 12 minutes left. So I know we got Brother Ravens Martinez on the call. Brother Martinez, man, I got a question for you before I even say anything else. Did Cleo Fields win the congressional seat, or is there going to be a runoff?
No, Cleo Fields won outright.
Okay.
He won the congressional seat outright. I mean, his closest competitor was the Republican, Elwood Guillory Sr. So he was successful. Mayor Broome in Baton Rouge is in a runoff
with Ted
for
James?
her seat.
Ted
James? No, not with Ted James, with the white Republican.
What?
She's in a runoff. Ted James actually came in a distant third in that race.
Wow.
So those are a lot of the dynamics. I just wanted to come on. I know it's somebody that has came on and talked about this race and, campaigned and worked. I agree with everything everybody was saying. I don't want to really say anything other than, when will we learn that we are all we got? When will we learn that we are all we have? Because, everybody casts votes. this democratic process worked as it was designed to work. The majority of our nation who don't look like us chose a different path. And that's a new normal for us. What would life look like for us? That's the new normal. So I again ask, when will we understand that it's really about us? And so we need to use this time to do really one thing, and that's work to build our own, economic community, our own safe community, our own homes, our own places. We, as a Black community, need to work because we all we got. And that's what I want to share.
Beautiful.
Brother,
Thank you, brother.
man. Look, man. All I can say, Ravis, is we got to move forward, bruh. We got to move forward, and we got to work together. We got to stop working. Brother Fatim says it. I say it all the time. We got to stop working in these silos, brother. We got to work together, and we got to work together for a common good, for the greater good of all of us, especially us Black and brown folks. Brother Ravis, are you there?
Yeah, listen, guys. I just gotta say this, Joe, with Brother Ravis on, and please keep him. I got someone calling in. We need to keep Brother Ravis, but when they call in, Joe, I need you to take this call. Okay.
Okay, no problem. I got it. I got it. I got it. We got Brother Martinez. Whenever this call comes, we'll get it too. So yeah, Brother Martinez, I am, like you said, when are we going to realize that we are all we got? You're right.
And and that's it. That's the reality of it. I mean, this process that we believe in has worked as it was designed to, but we know these systems aren't designed to protect or to really push us forward in it. So we have to think better. And that starts really with being critical on ourselves, just the things you guys said, and focusing our energy on what we can change. We can change who we elect, meaning us. We can change who we say represent us. We can change who we say, hey, are fighting for us and putting us forward. We have the ability to change those things because those are the folks that are closest to us. So I challenge everybody, hey, get involved with your local school board and city council or parish governments or wherever government, boroughs, get engaged with the local organizations, the advocacy organizations like the NAACP, the Urban League, and others that are doing the work in the communities. Get involved with your local community mosque or religious place of worship and see how you can volunteer and learn something new. I mean, it's really up to you how you want to engage, but here's your opportunity.
Hold on, Brother
Like
Ravis.
Brother Fatim said, everybody.
Hold on, Brother Ravis. Hold on.
Hold on, Brother Ravis. I don't know if this is the call. Hold on for a second.
It's a 225 number, brother. Can't hear you,
Tell
Joe.
them to call back.
Oh, Joe, what happened?
Tell them to call back, please. Tell them to call back.
They don't have a lot of time.
Tell them to call back. Unless you want me to call them, I can call them right quick.
Yeah,
Call them.
Okay.
Call them.
Okay.
There you go.
Hello.
Hey, my brother, we got you on.
There you go. So let me just say, because the brothers, Ravis Martinez and Joe Dupree Anderson knows this brother, knows him well. And I asked him to call in real quick, so because he's short on time. But I want to congratulate for your new Congress leader, Cleo Fields. This is Cleo Fields on the line this morning with us. Congratulations, Congressman-elect Cleo Fields this morning, and welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told, my brother.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be with you. We had an extraordinary night last night in some respects and not so good in other respects. So, but we're ready to get back to work for the people of Louisiana.
Joe?
Well, Congressman Fields, we had met each other before. You did an interview with me when we were at Black Cafe. Once again, congratulations. I know who you are. I'm at Southern University. Of course, I do the coaches show. I work with Southern Athletics. I see you all the time, sir. I know what you bring to the people of Louisiana, and I'm proud to say that you represent me and the people of Louisiana as you make your way to the Congress.
Well, thank you very much, and it was good seeing you at the Black Cafe. And I appreciate all you do for Southern University. We got a lot of work to do, particularly our HBCUs. We need to increase the funding to and for our HBCUs across the country, and Southern is no exception to that. So we got a lot of work to do, and I'm just excited to be back at such a important time. We're still waiting to see what happens to the House, and we're hoping that the D's take control of the House, but we're cautiously optimistic.
And
Let me
Brother
just-
Fields, this is just your brother, Ravis Martinez. I just wanted to congratulate you on the win, but also let our listeners also to remain vigilant. We know that your new seat, the powers that be will be using the courts to try to come after that seat or rearrange it. So we'll have to be still engaged to, affect the change that we need to ensure that that seat stays what it's supposed to be, and you representing us in Congress. So salute, my brother. Looking forward
Thank you all
to
so
working with
much, and I appreciate being on your show this morning. I appreciate.
And let me just say
y'all
this,
calling in.
Congressman-elect Cleo Fields, and I said this before to Brother Fatim, and I said to you before in person, because we met in person in Baton Rouge, but we were talking after Hurricane Katrina. I would call Cleo Fields to come on Reverend Sharpton's show to talk about what the needs of the people down there. And when brother was not busy, he made the time. Even he was busy, he was like, Fatim, I only got 10 minutes, but for Reverend Sharpton, I'll do it. And we came down to the radio station in Baton Rouge. I'll never forget. Cleo Fields met us at the station. Reverend Jackson, Reverend Sharpton, myself. And then he took us out to Cracker Barrel. We went out to eat. I never forget that. But we had a good time. But the point I'm making is that you was there for the people. And I got a chance to meet a lot of representatives, young, Black, strong representatives down there. And I talk about that time of doing the work for the people. So I know you go into Congress, you will make a difference. But real quick, Brother Cleo Fields, the Republicans had their red wave last night. We cannot run from this. Do you see this as an uphill battle for the Democrats? And what do you see the work that is needed that the Democrats need to do to reach the people again?
Well, I guess Reverend Jackson said it best back in '84 when he ran for president. We were, trying to get people to register to vote at that time. I think it was in the state of Michigan, and when we gathered after we were trying to get them registered, I said to Reverend Jackson, "Man, these voters are so apathetic." And he said to me, "There are no apathetic voters. There are only uninspired voters. And it's our job to inspire." I think as Democrats, we just got to inspire our base again. We got to inspire people to get re-engaged in this process. I'm sure there'll be a lot of conversations around this very subject. And I'm certainly going to give my input. We just got to inspire people in the base again. But look, thanks so much for having me on. I got to run.
Yes, sir.
But it's been a pleasure.
We appreciate you, Congressman-elect Fields. Once again, thank you for tuning in to us, sir. You have a great and blessed day, and congratulations again. So we still got Brother Martinez on. I think, no, I may have lost Brother Martinez. Look, family, it is 1 minute to the top of the hour. We are thankful that Brother Fatim brought Congressman-elect Cleo Fields on. Thank you, Brother Fatim, for that. Family, smile, be happy, and let's get ready to do some closing words. I'm going to start off with our beautiful Sister Jax. Just good having her on for a whole program. Sister Jax, some closing words, please, sis.
Yes, great show, guys. I'm just so proud of everyone that is that woke up this morning and is trying to move forward in a positive light. Always walk in positivity, always walk in truth, always walk in faith, always walk in humility, and make sure you always walk with kindness. Love your brother, love your sister, love on those that love you, and you could even share a little love with everybody else too. But just do the right thing, y'all. We are so often just downtrodden and saddened and depressed, but it's time for us to shift. You got to feel that shift, y'all. It's time for us to shift and do better, be better. Watch the company you keep, because guess what? That negativity will rub off on you. And before you know it, that co-rumination takes effect. And, just always know that misery loves company. Misery loves company. So just go forward in life with a smile and be blessed and be safe. If nobody told you they love you today, know your girl. Jax loves you. Be blessed until tomorrow, Lord's will. See you soon. Have a good one, guys.
Brother Fatim, close me
All
out, my
right.
brother.
Well, this is simple. We got work to do. We have work to do as a party, and we have work to do as a people. And that's the bottom line. We got work that got to be done out there. We can't get out there and feel sorry for ourselves. Right now, it's okay to feel mad and angry, or feel to the point that you've taken some steps backwards. But sometimes you have to take, like I told my daughter this morning, Fatia, you have to take 2 steps. Sometimes you push back 2 to 3 steps to come forward 5 to 7 steps. You understand? So sometimes these things that are hard, it makes us go within. I keep telling you, stop looking out there or up there for it, because it's not there. It's here. It's here. And when you have it here and believe in you, and if you believe in the Most High, everybody breathes that life here. That's that life in us. We can do it. You got to believe in yourself. You have to have faith, and you have to come up and be strategic and have a plan. That's what I'm going to say, and those are my final words.
Simply said, as I always close out every time, hey, be better today. Be better today on this day than you were yesterday. And do something today that no matter what you do, when you give it to whomever you give it to, you give it freely. You release it, expecting absolutely nothing back. Always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing and no one can stand against you. Y'all be blessed. We'll be back tomorrow for Turn Up Thursday. Turn down for what? On the behalf of myself, Brother Fatim, Sister Jax, we are hashtag Truth Be Told, and we out of here. Peace.
The part you like to play. How long will you go on this way? Things you do blow my mind. I see you doing it to your own kind. Now you've got babies too. What in the world is wrong with you? Don't you even care at all? Brothers, sisters, hear my call. Can't you see what you're doing is wrong? Why can't we get along? Check yourself, change it. We have gotta change our way. Change our way. Don't you know? Can't you feel in your heart it's your people that you're tearing apart? This I know. Change it. We've got to change our way. Change our way. Right now. Believe it.